go. Okay, so welcome to another Exploring Consciousness with the Earth Nouveau Hub. And we are experiencing interesting energies, isn't there? There's a lot going on at the moment. Solar flares, this and that. I haven't really looked it up, as it's just what I've seen on Facebook. And of course, my body is totally linking in. How do you guys perceive it? Do you perceive it through your body? Is there something going on? We talked about last time. Remember, we said the old stuff is coming up. There's quite a bit of old emotions, old feelings that are coming up for resolution, like this little pimple showing its blackheads. And but what else? How are you guys doing?
I would say that mine comes through physical. My vision is like off. It's and what's weird is like I can see these colors overlaid on top of things. I don't know. It's a weird thing. It comes and goes. So I think my vision, I usually wear glasses because I can't stand contacts anymore in my eyes. But yeah, that's really been a thing for me.
So when you say vision, you're talking about just seeing brighter or better, or
oh, okay. So it's kind of like, I think it goes with the energies. It'll get like really like I can't see clear.
Yeah.
And then I can walk into a different place and then it's clear. So I don't know if I'm starting to see energies, you know, and that's something. But I have to say one thing this was weird. I'm going to be funny kind of right now because I've been looking at the word symbols comes in, and I think Andrew talks about symbols being hijacked, right? So I've been coming up with my own symbols. I'm not sure what the meaning is, so I have to show you these pictures. Okay, so I don't know why, but symbols, we could probably like be able to change the symbols. I know when we talked about what we're doing for what was it, the North Pole? I don't know. So I said, okay, just show me symbols. I'm like, just show me symbols. So I was making spaghetti, right? And these spaghettis fell out of the bowl. I'm going to show you what symbols. What symbols. There's that symbol.
Yeah.
I'm like, these are symbols.
Yes, they are. They are.
Right? Look at them.
Oh my God, fantastic. Talking spaghettis. I love it.
So I'm like, what is this? I haven't looked into it yet. Oh, there was even one on the fork, like that one. Like, I'm like, what is this about? Like, I have to really feel into them and see what I want to draw them out and
yes,
do something. So I don't know. Symbols have been coming in, not the rainbow, sun, moon, star symbols, but different. I know these probably have been done before on cave walls and stuff, but
well, think of the 26-letter alphabet that we are going beyond now, and sigils and sidwills, whatever you call it, symbols. All of that is part of that. Expressing ourselves no longer just through the 26 letters of the alphabet, through words, or and everything's. And I love, do you know what? I love you, because you're taking the simple stuff that is happening in our life, and you look at it and what is it telling me, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
And I guess it's something that because all I said was just show me some symbols. I don't know. I wasn't going to draw them. I'm like, don't show me with my hand, show them out there, and I'm thinking, spaghetti. Okay.
Why not? Why not? It's very much the same sort of, is a similar energy to what Lana was saying. She's driving and she started to create all these amazing, paintings. just by taking a snapshot while she's driving really fast, and it looked amazing, you know. And I love that, because this is really, you know, it's a fun way of really interacting with the unseen and really starting to explore our psychic capacities, right? And also explore the imaginary process, you know, to connect and to be in the flow with spirit and with all the energies that are coming in. Love that.
That's what I feel like it is for me. Like I can just, you know, the simple things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice one.
I want to make a correction there, Martina. I wasn't driving. I was sitting in passenger seat.
Okay.
So anyone who may reinterpret it and thinking I'm being a reckless driver, laughing while I'm driving at high speed, is not true.
Fabulous,
Just to
fabulous.
make that correction there and clarity.
Absolutely. For anyone
I was just the passenger.
all those inspired artists now, be aware of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like texting and driving. I wasn't driving and
Yeah.
photographing at the same time.
But
it's
yeah.
the energy, as you were saying, sometimes what's been happening nowadays is that sometimes in my peripheral vision, I would sort of like almost see like a shadow at times, which I think is a sign of being more aware of the unseen in a sense. And the other thing that I usually notice is like that one picture I also posted with the clouds. And you may have saw that one too.
Yes, the dragons. Yeah.
Well, it was a bigger picture and I just kind of make it a little smaller to focusing on that piece of cloud there, so you can see it more clearly. But when I look at it, you know, my first impression was, oh, that looks like a dragon's head, like emerging out of the cloud. Because you could, if you look at the picture more closely, you could also almost see something like a spine from the head going down, and you can trace it, you can follow it back into the cloud itself, the bigger cloud. So for me, when I look out, I like to look up all the time into the clouds and see what's going on, what's happening, what shape and form I'm noticing. And sometimes there are some amazing things that I can see. Like the other day, about a month ago, I'm aware that there is a portal in the northwestern sky where I'm at. And it's been there for a long time. And I used to see images of, I interpret them as ships coming out of that portal. But it past couple of years now, I don't know if it went dormant for a while, but about a month ago, I was outside and I saw what looked like it's been opening up again. And I saw this huge portal, a circular portal this time, and something was emerging out of it. So these are the things that I tend to notice, you know? So that's what I can say. And I believe that perhaps some of the portals went dormant for a while and they're now reopening again. Those are my thoughts about that.
Okay.
So look out, girls and boys. Look up when you look out. You may see things that you never thought you'd ever see before.
Exactly. Make the unknown known.
Yeah.
The unseen seen.
Because our awareness is getting to that point, that stage now. Because things are out there. We just have to be in that frame of mind where we accept it, become aware of that there are things out there that um, have always really been there, but we've never really recognized them. But because our awareness is becoming sharper, we're beginning to notice them more, including colors. There's a lot of colors in the sky. Like Amy was saying, that when I was younger, I never saw those colors before, but that doesn't mean those colors weren't there. Now I notice colors, especially if the sun is out really bright, then I really see colors bouncing off the clouds.
Mm-hmm. And also the distraction is slightly less because we're choosing a bit less distraction, right? And it's also the level of knowingness when it comes to meditation. Meditation doesn't necessarily mean that you have to, lock yourself in a room, sit on a bolster and close your eyes. You can just walk around with open eyes, and actually this is all part of the meditation. Like Amy with her spaghetti sigils, that's superb
Yeah.
meditation as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, have communications, talk to anything and everything that comes along. Yeah, it's almost like, I hear what you're saying, it's almost like, that there's not much when I walk. Yeah, I see things in everything, and now at least, I don't have to talk to myself anymore, because I can talk to all these bits and pieces around me. Yeah, fantastic.
And something else I want to bring up here that I've never realized before or noticed before, and I don't know if any one of you have ever heard or noticed this, especially for people who do gardening. And this might be something that is coming into focus in our awareness now that was never there before, or it's a Mandela effect, or we're on a timeline that where this expression is now being opened up to us. Our awareness is that something came into view for me a couple of days ago, and that is now that springtime is here, it's hostas. Now, hostas come in like over 300 or more different varieties. And I've never ever heard that hostas were edible plants. Have any one of you ever heard of hostas being an edible plant?
I've no idea what it looks like. What is it?
It's a plant that has a lot of leaves, green leaves. If you just Google hosta,
H-A
Hasta
Or
Hosta.
HOSTA, hosta.
HOSTA, yeah.
They have those purple flowers too, those long, at least mine
Yes.
do. They have the long purple flowers.
Yes.
Okay.
And you see
But
them everywhere.
it's a very popular
What?
plant. They're shade. They grow a lot
Yeah.
in shade. They're used
Perennial.
yeah, and they come back every year. They're very hardy. And as I said, I never knew they were edible. And then I saw this one video where this person demonstrated how he was unaware of the fact that they were edible, but he'd heard of this now that it's edible, and he decided that he would go out and cut some of the young shoots that are just popping up, and like when asparagus are coming up as well. If you cut them when they're young, you can cook them. They're edible. But if you let them go, they'll go up, and then the stem will turn into flowers, and they're kind of leaf that they put out. It's more like a furry sort of leaf. But what the guy did was that he cut the hosta down from the root area down to the soil, and then he just sauteed them up with other vegetables. And the test that he did, he said, it tastes almost like asparagus or some sort of green vegetable. A very light taste, not a very harsh, sharp taste or anything like that. And this is the first time I've ever heard of a hosta being an edible vegetable.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Nobody talked about eating hostas, and they're everywhere.
Yeah, and there's so many varieties. Hi, Sean.
Hi, hey guys.
Sean, yeah, nice to see you, man.
Yeah, you too. I thought I'd just check how everybody's doing.
Yeah, fantastic.
Everybody looks powerful.
We were just saying we're actually well, I speak for myself here. I'm actually quite knackered, to be honest. The energy is coming in so strongly. The dreams are like, what is going on? I'm like, oh, here I'm back. I am. Okay, let's get up. Let's have a coffee. What are we gonna do here? She's like, whoosh.
So
Yeah.
getting back to the Hasta do, I was just thinking if anybody's ever heard of it, or are we on a timeline now where we've shifted to a timeline where Hastas are edible plants?
You know, it's funny you said like Mandela effect, because this morning I literally walked out to my, like I got a fence where I grow like kale and like a few flowers against kind of thing. And there was just a stone that was not there yesterday. Like, cause I was just had my hands digging around in it, like recently, like planting some tiger lilies and just checking my kale and cutting it back. And then just when you said that, I was like, that's kind of cool. Cause I literally thought, like, I haven't thought about Mandela effects too much lately. And then I was like, this stone's too big to come up from, like, it snowed yesterday, which was annoying. But like, this is too big to just come up. But that's really cool with the hostas, because, you know, my parents got hostas. I can go eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, if you Google hostas, edible hostas, and you'll see.
I still don't
there'll
know how to spell it. Hastas.
Hosta. Ho.
Oh, Ho. Okay.
And there's like hundreds of, there's like so many hostas.
Hostas. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, it's like the animals are gonna come out. Different animals, different vegetables, different flowers, plants, everything, right?
You know what that remind me that you're talking about that. There was a girl that Andrew had like a couple show with her that she managed to work with they call the small people, something like that. I don't remember something now.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, it was kind of interesting because it said that they are here. The only thing that we are not looking for the connection. They said if we call for them and if we're going to out in the outside, you know, in the trees or the water or whatever, they can even interconnect with us. And the other thing that was they saying before, that a lot of new plants are going to show up and from nowhere, and like animals too. Who knows? Maybe they'll decide to open some portal from inner earth, right? Because there's a lot of huge different varieties of plants and animals over there. There's a thing that happen, new species show up, especially in plants. I was thinking about that. I was remember about that. I don't remember how her name is very simple, like it's 3-letter Leaf, Life, something like that.
Her name is Liv Wheeler, and she's talking about the Conumba, I think it's pronounced.
Booklets, yeah, the little people, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Or Coatamba, I think.
Coatamba.
Coatamba, yeah.
Yeah, Contemple.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Yeah. And I was, you know, a few, I think it's like last year, I took a picture in my area because I live in the area in New York, but very outside from New York. And I took a picture. It's like a road that I used to go for a walk because there was a lot of pine trees over there. And I took a picture. After I took the picture, you said the picture came like you see like a glue in the air, and it was like a kind transparency, a blue color. Like if you can like a energy converging one another. It was like if you maybe like a kind no specific like when the air like raise out like a suddenly you see like a moving in the air. But it was like interconnection because I could see like a glue. In the air was like a glue, but no glue. It's really hard to explain for me. However, it was this kind of thing. It was like the air was no air really. It was like a glue something. It was kind of interesting because when I took the picture, I didn't see anything strange. And when I saw the picture, I saw this kind very interesting and really know from where that's portrayed in the picture. It was kind of interesting too.
What's up? Hold on a second. No, it is really interesting. I went for a walk the other day and I made this, hold on, when was that? Share screen. Can you see this?
Oh, that's pretty.
Yes. Mhm.
This is tide, a low tide, yeah. So you can see this is the from the seaweed and everything, and then you got this worm thingy holes and stuff like that. And I was walking on that beach, and it felt like I was on a totally different planet.
Mm.
It was, and it was so weird. I started feeling really, really ungrounded in a way. Not in a bad way, but you know, it was just so interesting.
Otherworldly way.
In an otherworldly way, absolutely. Look, just
Wow.
Beautiful.
really weird. And I was walking with a friend, and a lot of ideas came through, you know, because who thinks in your, who finds that okay, who finds that your interests are changing? Your, yeah. Sean, tell us a little bit about that, and how is our, let me stop this. Is my screen gone now? That's gone, yeah. Tell us a little bit about this, because it can be quite like, whoa, what's going on? Everything is disappearing, right? Everything that we've done until now.
Yeah, changing, expanding, but it's more like I just don't care. Like I do, everything's a paradox, right? But I just don't care about the outcomes of anything anymore. Like there's this, like there's no good or bad to like everything I look at. So it's fun, like when I'm watching, like just watching television or watching a show or a movie, like a lot of time I like the bad characters just as much as the good characters. And like even like I just started watching Billions a little bit, and it's all about the financial district, and like I love the bad guys. The bad guys are cool. The good guys are cool, and it just shows this dynamic between like positive and negative kind of thing. And just lately, it's just fun to watch and be a part of it. And just like so many things can happen. It's like, meh. And then just watching my own interests grow. Like the more and more I'm studying school, just pulling me into all sorts of new fields of, lately it's been gut bacteria. And it's just like a whole new level and whole new, like, you know, when you just feel like you just moved up a level and you're just like, your awareness just expanded and your whole playing field just got a little bit bigger. Kind of feels like that a little bit. It's pretty awesome. It's like, oh, I see the world this way now.
From a sacred neutral perspective?
Well, definitely from a sacred neutral perspective. It's like, because I just realized in the potential, like if I'm going to deal with patients and people all the time, like I'm going to have to feel what they are going through and kind of not care. Like I do care. Like that's where it's, because everything's a damn paradox. But like, it's like, okay, well, here things are. Now what are we going to do about it? Like, because like there's so many, it's funny when you start to have patients and stuff, because I'm starting to have like patients in school. It's pretty awesome. But like everyone comes to you with crazy stories, right? Like every once in a while you're like, wow, that's a pretty good story. And it's kind of exciting, but it's like, you know what? I don't want anyone to be a victim here. So we're just gonna take that off the table and just jump right in, and just couldn't care. Like it could be the most nastiest thing. Because it's just interesting. You see some of the reactions from other people, and some people get so embroiled in the story and just like so attached, and so it becomes so personal to them that they make it their own personal redemption. And it's like, meh, whatever, couldn't care. You know, things that, you know, we'll just try again. So that's been with me a lot lately. It's just so freeing.
I love it. I love it. And it's almost like, you know, there's this tool I've always used, you know, interesting point of view. Everything is just an interesting point of view. That's one of the old access tools I still at times use, you know, and it's almost like, as you say, everything becomes an interesting point of view even more. And actually, it's like, I wouldn't say, you know, that you don't care. You just care about everything now equally, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the verbiage for that one.
Just don't have a point of view. Don't judge it. That kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, and it's usually I just have both and try for this limitless thing that we like all are learning and talking about. But it's just fun because then you do that and then you can just see the potential of every person, see the potential of every character. Like just like, you know, the person in suits or the fireman, or just like see what they're going through, what their experiences are, and just, you know, ride with it a little bit. It's kind of fun. Then you can kind of like see through their eyes or through the steering wheel for a little bit. And it's like, cool, let's see what we can create with that.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's basically what I would call, you have integrated all that energy of self-mastery and sovereignty, and you become that energy now. And of course, the healing effects of that, you just need to walk into that room with your patient or client. You don't even have to say anything.
Work in progress. You don't have to say anything. Then you stick needles in them. Extra effect. But absolutely, it's so cool because like it's kind of fun. Like they have these ancient Chinese books. One's called the Huangde Jing. It's like the Yellow Emperor's classic, and like they outline the most 5 important things to be a practitioner. And it's just cool because the first one is intent. The second one is going with the flow. It's just being in alignment with the Tao, just the way. So just going with the flow of things. And the third is knowledge of herbs. Fourth is like the knowledge of acupuncture skills. And the fifth is diagnosis. Out of 5. So it's just saying the diagnosis is the least important of all those things. Like, because it's like the more and more you make a proper diagnosis, the more you pigeonhole yourself out of that limitless experience. So it's like but you still got to use everything you know, and then you got to like shake, and okay, well, I got my intent here. Now let's let the world have a limitless outcome, because like that diagnosis is just, you know, it's just you forcing an outcome, and you don't know what's going to happen. Like a miracle could happen right in front of you, but if you really want that outcome, you're really not going to get that miracle. You're going to get your outcome because you forced it with your blood, sweat, and tears.
Exactly. And you limit possibilities. Exactly.
Yeah, and I don't want a blood, sweat, and tear anymore. I've contorted myself for multiple things that haven't been my own. So fuck that. I don't want to do that. I just want to expand the playing field, have a little bit of fun, you know, move the parts and pieces.
Well, fantastic. You fit right in here.
Good group.
Because we don't even have, we don't even have topics anymore. We don't have, we all become teachers here. We're all teachers, and we just talk and see what comes up. It's just so nice.
Here's a quick little topic for you all. How did you guys all react when you saw that email about the ayahuasca thing for on Andrew's, like on the newsletter that Robert's putting on? How did you guys react when you read that?
Well, I'm planning to go. The only problem I have is they won't let me in yet, because Colombia has still got the
it's like COVID ramifications.
That's right, COVID ramifications. Yes. So that was the idea. But then again, you know, that's an open thing. I can go at any time. How did you react?
I was like, ooh, is this real? This is kind of interesting, because it's not your typical like 2 weekly or like every 2 week little Timbit. It was like, oh, there's an event happening. That's kind of cool. And then like my reactionary aspect is like, I want to go, I want to go, I want to go. And then I was like, you know what? I don't really need to go to this, but this is really cool that this is happening. And I hope more of these things keep happening, like these currents keep changing and going around, because like I'm really excited to meet a bunch of you guys. And
Yeah.
like it's such a great opportunity to like come together and do things. But I was like, you know what? I am in school. Maybe it's not the perfectest time. And I'm in an intensive, like it's like go, go, go. Like we just finished the term and we just have a week off. I'm like, you know, maybe it's not the perfect time for a medicine journey. But there's part of me is like, oh, I would love to be in that rainforest though. I would love to like be near the plant spirit medicine, even just to be in close vicinity. But I was like, ooh, but this means future events are coming. Like the potential's coming back around again. So I found that really exciting.
Yes, no, absolutely, absolutely. And this is I think it's happening in May now, but this is something that will happen not just once, because it's something outside of, you know, yeah, it's
No, I want a hotel conference.
Yeah. I was surprised myself too when I saw the email yesterday. I said, wow, I would love something like that. But for me, I'm in the young position to be taking a master's degree in real estate, and I can hardly survive with all the stuff I had at home. For me, you know, responsibility with family and client and then school is a lot.
That's wisdom, Herminia.
Yeah, it's thank you. Well, it's like, you know, it's like I push myself through the roof with this. I would love to do that. However, 10 days, I think that's going to be very intensive. You're going to need like maybe 1 month completely to recover from that, because when I had my fuse experience with the plants, I mean, just one night, you need like maybe 3 days to recover from the process, you know, because it's very intense, and it depends how much thing we have to hear and what we're going to hear in that particular. And I expecting with Andrews it's going to be maybe 100,000 times stronger, you know.
Well, you see, what I'm excited about is just like what Sean was saying as well here. It's like we no longer need to go somewhere where there's one teacher getting on stage and tells us what to do. This is an opportunity for all of us to get together and share our signature frequencies and have experiences and learn from each other, you know, by watching each other, you know, do whatever we do, whatever comes up. And that I'm finding this myself. My teaching days are over as well. My teaching days is like my ego is completely blown out of proportion. I'm gonna get my in terms of it. There is none anymore, you know, as such, from their perspective. You know, I'm gonna get this book out. Once I've got my book out, then I'm done with that kind of work, you know. And there's other stuff which. Do you know what? It's like this being business, Sean, like you were saying. We're just going to rock up and be ourselves, have some fun, you know, use our environment to play. And that is the new teaching. But the new teaching is to show up, to get out and to get together with the tribe. That's what I'm seeing, you know. Yeah. That's what I'm seeing. And that's what I'm interested in as well. Yeah. And this is why when I look at other stuff and, you know, I always look at different videos and stuff like that and to take bits and pieces, but there is nothing really that grabs me anymore. That is like, oh, I need to learn this. Or, you know, there's bits and pieces that, like you were saying, for me, it's the lymphatics that has come back.
Cool.
I'm really looking into the lymphatics, realizing how little we actually pay attention to that, been introduced by a friend of mine. She has been doing some internet, over the net courses and stuff, and I looked into that. And it's so simple to do these exercises, right? I mean, Sean, you just take your ears and start rubbing them and working them through, and then a couple of sounds, and it all starts up here, right? And how much work do we not do up here with our eyes, with our jaws, with our teeth, and all of that? So it's quite interesting how these things keep popping back up, what we hadn't really looked at yet, but it's exciting.
Are lymphatics cool? Like there's actually like a lot to do with lymphatics in Chinese medicine. And it's like kidneys cover the bone, and like they also govern, like kidneys also govern the marrow, which is like where our lymphatic system is like intricately connected. And it's just really interesting. And we also have like our gut bacteria, and like our brain is also considered marrow in Chinese medicine.
All right.
So we just have these, like, all these marrow highways. And the way I've been learning it is kind of like when blood meets essence, like kidney essence, it becomes marrow. And then when it becomes marrow, it's pretty much your strong memories. It's like your, those memories in light, as we call it. It's just like we have so many memories floating around in our blood. And it's not till it combines with that dense, thick essence, which is us, that it becomes the marrow. But all our lymph, all our circulating lymph that's going through our body is pretty much our immune system, which is also pretty much like mobile marrow that just hasn't figured out where it's going to deposit again yet. And then you can link it all to like the gut bacteria and everything. It's just like all these trillions of little gut bacteria living in our body, co-inhabiting with us, which like support our immune system, which is essentially mobile marrow. It's just like moving around, that hasn't either went to our brain or deposited back in the bones or in our spinal column or our nervous system. It's fucking cool. It's really cool.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, the lymphs are, taking out the waste out of the body, whereas the blood is obviously bringing nourishment to the cell. And so the lymphs are hugely elimination, right? Elimination, what do you call it? They're doing all that work. And the other thing that has come up is, of course, because, my body with the dreaming body, I feel everything in my gut immediately in my stomach. Yeah. So I get really bloated, like, when what's happening at the moment, I am like, oh, I'm pregnant again. So what is going on here? What wants to be birthed and stuff like that. And because, there's one thing with massage, if you go and have a massage done, that hardly any people who want to touch your belly. It's such a niche, and it's so important to have your belly, actually, to have your stomach, your intestines worked at, and all the organs and everything. It's really, really important to create that space, but nobody wants to go there. So, right, and now
probably the last place. Like they'll probably go there for your privates before they go for your belly. Like,
and it's so important, hey, if you think about it. But what I was going to say, so that's definitely a niche for anyone. And also, having done this lymphatics, I mean, this is not a gentle kind of work. I mean, I'm a Bowen, I come from the Bowen background, which is very, very gentle and everything. And also I've realized there was a bit of bringing back my Bowen days, because Bowen is very much a lymphatic drainage. So lots of those lymphatic drainage moves are actually similar to the Bowen moves. So yeah.
Another question. Did anybody get COVID?
Oh, what?
Has anyone got COVID?
No.
I got it a couple of weeks ago. And it was quite the purge. Like it was like a 7-day long, I was pretty sick.
Okay.
And just really has like a lot to do with the lymphatic systems. Like my tonsils got swollen, and like my neck lymphs got swollen.
Yeah.
For a little bit. And once it's gone, I felt I was a bit head unfocused for week and a half after. But and like still some residual phlegm.
Okay.
But my body felt 120% after. It was like, wow, this was really a good. This didn't just get this virus out of me. This got residual things out of my immune system out of me. It was like, and it wasn't like 5 days before I got it, I was feeling the best I'd ever felt. And the way I learned, when you're feeling the best, that's when your body takes an opportunity to do some work. Because it's like, okay, you got the strength to attempt to do this right now. So it took the attempt, and I had a wicked sore throat and fevers and chills. Mainly the sore throat. It was the worst one, like in the swollen lymph. But clearing that lymphatic system, it really, colds are changed my whole way I look at colds.
Yeah.
It's good to say it's healthy to get sick.
Yeah.
Healthy to get sick. And like first 12 years of my life, I barely didn't get sick. I told myself in my brain, I was like, you know what? I'm healthy, I'm strong. I don't get sick. But it's good to get sick. If you don't, it just suppresses it. And you don't have a chance to let that sickness out.
Yeah. Well, it's like you have a temperature. What is the body doing? It's trying to work the inflammation, get rid of any inflammation in the body. You know, the worst you can do is actually suppress
That's the fight.
temperature, right? And things
Because like in yin yang theory, like fever is yang. Like so, like heat is yang, cold is yin. So cold slows things down, heat moves things. So when you have that high fever, you're moving things. Things are on the go. They're like they're warmed up and they're ready to go where they're being told to by the body, and that's hopefully out.
Yes.
So, Sean, how does that relate to when you're having goosebumps? Apart from having temperature, you know, sometimes you get goosebumps if you're in the process of maybe you're reading something and all of a sudden you get goosebumps.
Yeah, like within the scope of Chinese medicine, that can be a few different ways, because like cold can contract things, and so like when you contract things, like you have different layers. Like you have an exterior layer and you have a slightly more interior layer. And when you get cold right away, you'll have that disconnection from that warmer layer underneath. So they become disconnected, and the lower layer is not able to nourish that cold layer anymore because there's not enough warmth to bring that. It's too cold, so the inner layer can't bring that warmth to it, so it won't be able to nourish it, and it'll react in a specific way. But as like with the, I don't know how to answer that question well enough right now, like in the specific way that you'd like, with the paranormal activity and the spider tingles. But like I know it's in here, I just can't verbalize it at the moment.
You know,
it's super cool when that happens.
Chan, if you you know, one of the things that fascinated me is about the fascia. How does going all the organ in the body, how we have in all the system, is fascinating, because when I was taking the craniosacral class, I was exposed to that information, and for me it was like amazing how it's like when we were sleeping, it's like a cocoon inside, and then that's why they said people had to move to exercise, because then our muscle become stiff, because that is the fascia that is in the whole body, all the organs, how it's wrapped up in that like web is very interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool. And like, and when we call that the spleen, like the spleen's in charge of holding things together and lifting and raising muscles in Chinese medicine, which is also the earth element. So it is really fascinating. The spleen, and it's cool because we have this meridian clock, at least when you look at the organ perspective versus like 5-element theory. When you look at it through the organ perspective, it kind of goes survival organs. So it starts out with the lungs, and then it goes to the large intestine, so you're looking at breathing, you're looking at food, and then sleep. But it's lungs, large intestine, and then you have the stomach, and then the spleen. So when we're building all that, like at least in Chinese medicine, that's all the primal emotions. And like the spleen's also in charge of banking the blood in the muscles. So like, and yeah, you have part of your mind in the blood. You have primal emotions in the blood. And before you can do anything, the spleen has to bank that blood. At least in Chinese medicine, that's what it's regarded as doing. So your muscles fill up with blood before you can even do anything. And then once you have repetitive action, like after the spleen goes to heart, and now you're into like interaction. So before you're in survival, and then the next 4 organs are more interaction. So they're, okay, so now how am I going to interact with things? And there's a social element about it. And so now you start to have intelligence behind those primal emotions, because you're starting to put thoughts into them. And it's really cool. It's really cool, especially like holding everything together and banking that blood to provide an experience.
Yeah, it's amazing, because the spleen, we don't pay much attention, but what I learned is that that's the organ that produces the hormone for feel the joys and happiness, you know, something, and the secret, I don't remember how they call. It's the one that release when people are very depressed or something, is because that organ is not in the right function, something like that, because that's the one that release the hormone.
It's super cool. It's fun for me, because the more I learn, I'm learning how to connect Western medicine things and Chinese medicine things, because they're 2 different languages speaking the same thing. But it's really cool. You have stomach yang and spleen yang, and it's like when food enters the stomach, it's very high acidic. Like the pH is really low, really high acidic. And then as soon as it moves into the large or the small intestine, it goes to really alkaline. Wow. So it's like that stomach really breaks down the proteins, like, which really need a high acid to break. And then it moves into the, like, an alkaline state once it gets into the small intestine, like a huge, like, relative shift. So it can kind of focus on different nutrients and everything. But it's really interesting. Like if one's out of order, then it really upsets the next one in line. Because then if you can't break it down in the stomach, you have to use extra heat and extra acid in the small intestine to break it down. And it's pretty cool keeping it all in check. And you'll have different gut bacteria if they're not done in the right place.
So there's a guy, the guy I've been looking at is called Perry Nicholson, yeah?
That's the guy who makes the little Facebook posts?
Say again?
Is that the guy who does the little Facebook posts that you...
Does Facebook posts, and he's on Instagram as well. And I can totally, you know what would be fun, because he does on Instagram. See, he's such a down-to-earth super guy, and he just sends little tips on Instagram every day. Stop chasing pain, you know, lots and lots of great stuff. And he's on, I think he's on obviously on Facebook as well, but he's really cool to look at, little bits and pieces. Now, you guys talking about the spleen, yeah? The spleen is right underneath the rib cage on the left side, yeah? So if I mirror that, like left side here, and you can just put your hand on the ribs here. You got the sternum here, you got the ribs, and you just do a little bit of a, you know, movement here, just to loosen up that spleen and get it, the lymphatics flowing and everything. And the lymphatics are obviously connected to the fascia, just like what Herminia was saying, you know, so you're working on the fascia, the lymphatics at the same time, yeah? The other thing is we got on the other side, on the right side, we got the liver. So again, you just get onto the little ribs here and just do a bit of like movement here. I mean, I got myself one of those peanut vibrator machines, you know, you can just put them on and just get a bit of thingy going. And it has made a huge difference for me to really, if you look at the liver is connected to the diaphragm, it's connected to everywhere, you know. And it's like when you have, like for me with this, oh, I can't breathe because there's so much going on there. With this lymphatic drainage, it really helps, you know. to let this all go, and then everything else you start feeling much better as well, isn't it? Especially with the liver, it's all about anger and frustration, isn't it, Sean? And it runs what do you call it? It clears it all out into the, oh shit, I can't remember now. There's so many things. Just Google this guy, yeah, Perry Nicholson, or follow him on Instagram or whatever. He's really cool dude, really nice stuff. And he's got memberships and all sorts of things you can look at, but very down to earth, yeah. Like tools you can use yourself. I was thinking I'm going to go and have lymphatic, drainage massages or something. And now I'm like, Jesus, no, I'm going to do myself.
Nice.
You know what, Martina?
Yeah.
If you get, I have a little trampoline, jumping. Just jumping helps the lymphatic system.
Totally,
so you just jump on that for 10 minutes and,
yeah, 5
until
minutes. Yeah,
five.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And remember, teeth, yeah, every tooth is connected to the lymphatics. Now, it's so important that we get, I know it's a bit more difficult for people to get proper sleep at the moment, but it's so important to get the sleep because all the toxins are being released whilst we're sleeping, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's cool, like the teeth are extension of the bone. So it's like that's where all like the lymphatics flow through and run through, and that's why so much, they can be like little warehouses for what I call what I call latency. So it's like when the body doesn't want to deal with something, it's got two options. Well, there's two options: either get it out or store it. Latent, and like teeth are a big hotspot for keeping things in latency.
Yeah. And if you got issues with the teeth, then you got issues with the body as well. You might have lower back pain and you have no idea it's actually connected to your fucking molar on the left, blah, blah, whatever that. Yeah.
Yeah. And cool with the lymphatics, like, you know how Andrew every once in a while, he'll say like, first thing like anyone's got to do is kind of get body work done. Like if they're in pain, they got to get the body work done because you won't be able to pay attention or realize any deep things going on if you're just full on in pain, and that's taking all your focus and attention away. And when you clear your lymphatics, it's kind of like what we call like clearing the exterior. You clear the exterior and it gives you room for your interior to let things go, because now it can move back to the exterior because you already cleared it. You emptied it out, so now you can fill it back up with more garbage or good stuff, depending on which way you're looking at it.
Think of the lymphs as taking the waste away, just the elimination. You want to, through the fourth eye, you want to get rid of all the elimination, the bowel movements on a daily basis, now add the lymphs, and even if it's just the intention, just the intention.
Yeah, and then so think of them as like think of your lymph as your gut biome with 1 trillion little entities inside of you. And it's all connected. When you walk out in nature, you're smelling, you're breathing, the plant kingdom, the mineral kingdom, like the flyers, the animals, like all that stuff is improving your gut bacteria, changing your biome, and starting to circulating your lymph. Just as your teammates.
Absolutely. And let me add the vagus nerve to that, because the vagus nerve is connected to all of that as well, because the vagus nerve runs down where the lymphs run down as well, in so many places. And the vagus nerve, as we know, is connected to our, galactic beingness, so our multidimensional, because we're getting all that information through that too. So as we're working the lymphatics and the vagus nerve, we are actually clearing the programming, and we're allowing that energy to just really come in a much, connect to the energy. I don't want to call it come in, but connect to the energy in a much easier way. Now, there's another, let me just say for the vagus nerve on the Bowen, let me give you another thing here with Bowen. If you just have, there's a little, what's all this called now? I forgot. There's a little thing. If you, I can't remember now. I'll have to look it up because can you feel, okay, let me do it that way. So can you feel there is this little, notch here. You can go over, just where the two little bones are, go over. I should be able to explain this a bit better, but I can't think of it now. Okay, let's make this easy. Okay, let's not make movements here. Just think of here. Yeah, you got the vagus nerve, the lymphatics and everything coming down here. So if you just do gentle, yeah, padding, yeah, that's already good. All over that, in the, where the, oh, help me out, Sean, I can't think now, where the clavicle is, clavicle,
Yeah.
collarbone, so just around there, yeah, and then you massage down from behind the ear here, just here, massage down, and you start swallowing quite a bit right away, yeah, and all that shit is just amazing. And then the other thing is what he talks about, which is great as well, is the tongue, the importance of the tongue, the strength. We need to strengthen our tongues.
And expressing yourself.
That's one of the things, of course. And then, you know, the other thing is doing those mantras, you know, as a Kundalini practitioner, what I do a lot of mantras like Guru, 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 Vahe Guru, Guru. So you're working with the tongue and it's going up on the roof of the mouth and all that kind of stuff. It's really good to do that. And like, you know, this morning I woke up and I had a really wacky dream. I was like running away from something and I was being like, somebody was chasing me. And I had, it looked like very, very blue, superbly blue, crystal blue water. I was carrying and I was hiding it. I was carrying and hiding it. And there was another thing that looked, and I have no idea what it was. I was just running. It was so heavy. And I got really stressed out because, you know, it was so much effort to run with it. And the other thing was, it looked a little bit like a boomerang, you know, and I was hiding that underneath my clothes and I was running. Anyways, I woke up and I thought, fuck, this was exhausting. You know, what was that? And then I did my meditation. And then I thought, okay, well, let me look at this. I was going to the sun, you know, just checking out what's going on there. And it was chaotic up there, absolute chaos up there. And I thought, hang on a second, you know, this thing, this whatever that was, that liquid I had during nighttime, I'm thinking, well, I still got that. So why don't I take that to the sun, right? So I rock up there and I say, look, what is this? I've got this blue thing here and I brought this all the way from my dreams now. So can we use it, you know, to do something with this chaos up here? And they said, oh my God, this is foundational water from the prime creators.
Wow. That was cool. That was cool.
I thought, okay, well, good thing I didn't lose it, right? And I said, so what are we going to do with it? And I said, oh, let's all lie down, because I was lying down. And then they administered, somebody came in and administered, and we all got like this water, this prime creator foundational water sprinkled on us. And the chaos just started really to dissipate. It was really nice, you know? And then actually, because I brought it to them, they were so grateful. They actually washed me down with it. I was like, okay, guys, you know, and I got a really nice patting down with that water and started feeling really good about that, you know?
Martina, you were in the secret mission and you didn't know.
It was a fucking mission. Yeah, I was running with this thing. I thought, I'm going to lose this now. But it was so good that I remembered the dream, because in the meditation, I thought, oh, let me take this. So this is the other thing. Mix it up. Whatever happens in the dream time, you know, use it for whenever you go into your meditation. Use it in this, you know. I had no idea it was foundational prime creator water from the very beginning.
Yeah.
But the guys in the sun do it, you know.
Yeah. That's remind me one of the show that Andrew shared, that they get water from here, from this planet, and take it to another planet, and then, you know, just to reinforce themselves. And we becoming like a cleaning from those water. You were bringing that water to something specific to clean up.
Yeah, and it was obviously very healing and everything. Otherwise, they wouldn't have chased me. They wanted it.
Yeah, I was just thinking you could sell it for a lot, but nah.
Well, we used it up. We just used it up.
Beautiful.
Used it for all my soul family. I said, okay, guys, just sprinkle it all over the place. And it
Martina,
was calmed down.
Don't let the Pope hear that. You'll want your spiritual water.
Or maybe I could get some more tonight in my dream. I don't know where that came.
Well,
I was
as
even
you were-
thinking, oh,
as you were talking, I was thinking that what the Prime Creator did is that the Prime Creator gave you this pure, clean, spiritual water to bring back an anchor here now into the earth. Because all the ancient waters that were programmed, such as the frozen waters on the mountains, stuff like that, Andrew had talked about them melting away because they were all programmed waters. So what you're actually maybe doing is anchoring back pure water back into planet Earth. And what Harmenia was saying there about other species taking water from Earth, taking it to their planet, using it, and then bringing the filthy water back to Earth and then dumping it onto Earth. So Earth has to filter all that crap that came from other planets. So now that blue water that you got is just going to be the starting point for the pure water being, expanded out back into the Earth's waters.
So let's check out in your dreams, be part of that. We can all be those water carriers or whatever else comes up. What is the other thing then? I haven't figured out yet what that boomerang is. It looked like a boomerang. Yeah. And it's almost
boomerang.
Well,
let me say something. Just 1 second, Amy. But boomerang, what boomerang to me represents, because somebody was telling me about boomerang just the other day. So it's reminding me of this, is that boomerang is an expression of what you send out will return back to you. So be careful what you put out there. What you focus on will look back at you. And that's the boomerang.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Because a boomerang, and you throw a boomerang out, it comes back, right? It circles and comes back to you. So you can catch it. So what you focus on will look back at you, like Andrew would say.
Well, that's good.
I would think that, well, first of all, when you said blue water, I thought Atlantean times. Whether you're carrying this water, I don't know what that, it just felt like either you were bringing that to be dispersed again. I don't know. It felt like that to me. And the boomerang, I think that's another symbol we were talking about earlier. That's your own symbol of some kind.
Yeah, now I have to see how that
To draw something.
But when I think of blue water, Amy, when I think of blue water, I think more Lemurian.
Yeah, it was very much
kind of
Larimar stone, the Lemurian stone crystal. Larimar is apparently a Lemurian stone. I think it's in Dominican Republic. I don't have one today. Yeah, I've got a stone, and that's very much connected to Lemuria. And it was that kind of, but it was actually even more beautiful. I don't know. Anyway,
because Lemurians were the 7th dimensional beings when they started out, so that's more in line with Earth being the 7th dimensional galactic sea planet, whom she never had a chance to be because of the war that came here and the free will and everything. So when she was ready to go online to be that seeding planet, the war came. So that kind of put a stopper on her. But now, by that water coming back in, that's the higher dimensional water, like more of a 7th dimensional water, purifying the Earth's waters again.
Well, you're welcome.
and that reminds me that one that video that I posted in Art Nouveau Hub a couple of days ago with that woman and those 2 men clearing Africa.
Yes.
If you haven't listened to that video, there's one part in the video there where they actually the water, they were saying how the waters of Africa will start to become pure again. So you're linking in with that water in Africa there, I think, Martina. Because when they did the clearing in Africa, through the spiritual court of equity, where they brought all the ancestors in and the 15 multidimensional beings and whoever else were involved in all the suppression in the continent there, they were able to clear out all that. And the waters of Africa is being purified again.
So
Which one?
let me.
So I'm getting a link here with your water and the
Mhm.
continent there, because you said you live in South Africa at one
Yes.
point, correct? Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so let me just say something here, Lana. How do you guys feel about clearing the earth? Because something is telling me this is you. I have a bit of a thing with that, to go into different places and start clearing stuff, and it's almost like the earth is saying, "Get the fuck out of my face here."
Transmute, like a transmute the energy or through the water.
No. I just, I'm just, we're moving on now to this, what Lana is saying, it's like, there's so many people who say, okay, well, I've got to clear, certain continents and countries, and I'm going in there. And even if it's grid lines and stuff like that, I'm always being very weary of that.
Mhm.
But not from a place of okay, so I'm obviously not drawn to that for some reason, but it's almost like the earth is saying, work with me on a different level. You don't have to go in, and I'll do that.
No, well, what I'm getting as you're saying that. Okay.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just say,
Yeah.
strengthen your connection, your water, my lymphs, my blood, all of that water, my 70% or 80, whatever it is, with me, and I'll do the rest. That's what I'm getting.
Well, my train of thought, so I don't forget. So what I'm getting is that people were, when you have karma, like we're ancient beings and we've been here eons of lifetimes. So during those lifetimes, we've created karma, interacted with karma. So this lifetime now, this last one here, in a sense, it's not the last one, but I'm just saying that, is wrapping it all up. So we're here to clear our karma with situations that we were involved in the past that never had the opportunity to clear away. So by people doing specific work in specific area, it's not clearing the earth, it's clearing their karma. And by clearing their karma, the earth is being freed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but then they should work on themselves. That's how
It's ancestral. It's ancestral places that the example of Africa. These guys were. They have ancestral connections there with that involve a lot of karma, and by clearing out their karma, the earth was being freed, because it's like anchoring her and harnessing her. So by taking care of their shit, excuse my language, but it's freeing the earth naturally, and it's not interfering with anybody else's karma.
Yeah.
So it's a natural freeing up.
I appreciate that. And I mean, me living there for 3 years, I did exactly the same, but I did not for 1 second go to the ocean and said, I need to clear you now, or the mountain or anything. I just did the work. I had my experiences. I had my individual karmic resolution there without, but that's, that's me. I'm just so much of an empowerment facilitator. And that doesn't stop when it comes to the earth or to anything. I do this with people. What do you know? That kind of thing. And the earth is basically saying to me, you're an extension of me. Do your work.
Yeah.
And the rest will sort itself out.
Well, that's what I saw those people that were doing in Africa. They were just taking care of their own stuff. It's like, you take your file back, you take your file back. Everybody's taking their file back, and they're clearing the clutter up. So by clearing the clutter up, then earth is naturally freed from their, that overlay of the harness of the karma that is, surrounding the earth.
Yes.
So that's why we're responsible for our own self and to heal our own selves and to clear up our own stuff.
Absolutely.
And by
Okay,
doing that, you can clear out the whole big place at the same time, no?
Yes.
Because your ancestors might have lived in that spot for a long, long time. And because you are now alive, boots on the ground, you become the apex of that ancestral line, that you can do something to remove that karma from your ancestral line. And by removing the karma from your ancestral line, you are clearing up a whole lot of stuff that's sitting on the earth, hovering there like, you know, garbage.
Yes.
Okay, Guy, I gotta go. I see you this time.
Oh, you gotta go. All right, my darling. Thanks
Bye,
for
Hermania.
fun, hey? We'll see you soon. Bye.
Can I say, are you saying that you need to go physically to clear up the land of your ancestors?
No, not really.
No,
could do
because you
it
don't
in a
have to.
metaphysical way.
Yeah.
No,
But there's people that go to are you talking about people that go physically to a space, Martina, and
Well,
clear it?
no, it's called living, right? It's just, you know, whenever you're drawn, if you're drawn to South, I wasn't drawn to South Africa. It was just that I got a job. There was all karmic resolution. So when you're drawn to to places, you know, from that perspective, or you work there, or you live there, you know, it's you're working with the land there, you're working with everything that is in that, but you don't have to go there. If you feel that, you know, there's something going on for you with Africa, then you can do this remotely, of course. I mean, we've done this in Lemuria, we've done this as the Atlanteans that we've been, right? You can link up, but it's, of course, because it's all joy, right? And we're supposed to be having fun here, so just, you might as well just go there. Is it a different experience? Well, it is probably more intense when you go there, yeah, because you need a lot of imagination. And this is what I'm finding, you know, it's like it takes a lot of work to get the imagination up, to get the visualization going and things like that. So it's much easier to just bloody go there and find things on the beach and see, yeah. Go.
So like Andrew's trip, not Andrew's trip, but the trip that they're putting on, I don't feel called to go. Of course, I don't think I would survive in that. But say, let's say the people who are going, those people specifically that are there for a healing for them, and possibly the earth that they'll be with. So that's kind of like, you know, how you're drawn to certain, like you were saying, certain places. The people that sign up for that trip are drawn to it.
Yes.
For a specific reason. Maybe they don't even know yet why.
Yes.
But I have to go.
Exactly.
Okay.
Absolutely. And you know, sometimes the time is not right. That doesn't mean that you're never gonna go there. Maybe the time is just not right, you know. And it's quite interesting. I remember when I went to LA to meet the gang for the first time, I remember having a conversation afterwards saying that everyone on this plane, everyone on that particular plane, and of course I didn't speak to all of them, including the pilot and everything, was part of that karmic resolution. Yeah. Whatever, you know, I was doing there, and I didn't go to clear the plane or, you know, LA or anything. I just went for my own experience, you know. And of course, you know, remember, as Abby says, if you do this with joy, not from a place of, oh my God, that kind of thing, the results are exponentialized. Everything you do with joy, that takes us back to our technology, you know.
Yeah,
Joy.
you've been saying, Martina, now is that you can't try so hard anymore. Like trying so hard, it just kind of takes out of the experience, and it makes it so much harder to get what you actually want out of it.
Yeah.
And like I'm the same. I tried to force so many things so many times.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? For me, I'll just go for a walk. There's a little wild land around, you know, like that's just sitting there, and there's just so many wild things grow. And I like to go for my walk, you know, look at the birds, look at the little wildflowers popping up, and then, you know, maybe talk to it, maybe just breathe it in, and like, but do not try so hard, because like I've tried hard enough before, and it just doesn't it can work and it can't work, and it brings you to where you are. But then eventually you just go, you breathe it in, you breathe in all those little pollens, the dirt molecules, you breathe in the land again, and then it walks around inside of you as your lymphatic system and your immune system. It becomes part of you. So wherever you're going, you bring that to be part of you. And then it's like everywhere you go after that, that little bit of, it's there.
It's when the surge stops. That's when you know that you've integrated the energies, you know?
There's a time where you stop paddling upriver and you just go with the flow and use that flow. Like that's the Tao, back to those 5 principles. We're just going with the flow of things and working with you can go synergist, you can still go to one bank or the other bank or right down the middle, but you can chart your course in the flow. It doesn't have to be an upward battle anymore.
And it's equally powerful. It's equally powerful because, you know, the energy of surrender is hugely powerful, and we have to learn it. It's the next level of learning and receiving. That is such a big thing that's been so misidentified in this reality. Receiving is one of the most important energies, you know.
And that happens huge in the flow. And I also think that flow can flow right up the side of a mountain. It can go upwards. It doesn't have to flow downhill. Like it can be easy to flow up the mountain and receive along the way. Because like when you are flowing like that, you are open to receive because you're just moving along with everything.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean for 1 minute that you're never going to go do anything that takes courage and determination. No. Fuck no. Yeah. You know, you're going to carry on because, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally, it takes spiritual stamina. Look at spiritual stamina. And that includes everything. It includes your body. It includes any effort that you got to do and make. Absolutely, yes.
That's absolutely one of the greater convoluted understandings. That doing it the easy way is not necessarily a cop-out. And doing it the easy way can still be doing it the hard way. Because it's just strange how these things work. Because there's just so many scales. Like on this scale, it's the easy way. This scale, it's the hard way. This one, you're back to the easy way. This scale of time, you're back to the hard way.
And tell me, guys, how difficult is it to get up in the morning, yeah, and just choose to enjoy your coffee and just like, okay, all I'm going to focus now is my coffee, nothing else around me, right? And just choose the simple things. Is that easy? It's not fucking easy. It's something we need to learn. I think for me, it's not easy.
I love it. I saw Sean drinking coffee. Is that Tim Horton?
At McDonald's.
Oh, McDonald's. Okay. Tim Hortons, you're famous. But no, you know what, Martina? Every day, not every day, I shouldn't say every day. I enjoy getting my latte. Oh my God. And I just enjoy it so much. And I pay $5. I pay $5 for it because
pay $5
that's how
for
much
anything anymore.
that's how much I enjoy it. Oh my gosh. No, when you said coffee, I'm like, no, I do. I love it.
Beautiful.
I love it.
And it should be fun. Like, really, like, why are we dredging our feet or like along the ground everywhere, like torturing ourselves? And like, there's just that self-deprivation that we do to ourselves is just as bad as, you know, having that coffee here and then anyways. So just have the damn coffee sometimes. And if we become a coffeeaholic or something, maybe we'll step back a little bit, but I think we're okay.
Yeah, and if it's not coffee, it's tea, or drink a tequila in the morning. I don't care whatever you want to drink, just whatever you do, enjoy it, right?
Yeah,
Bloody Mary.
Enjoy it, touch yourself.
If you have one of those obsessions, do it till you're sick of it. You know, like don't just have a little, like if you're really afraid of chocolate or whatever reason, don't just pick a little bit of it and feel guilty. Eat a fucking handful until you're like, nope, I'm done with that experience. I've had my full. Then your body will say no more and you move on.
It's like Alfredo for kids. It's very
I like that approach, Sean. I'm all about that. Or go ahead, Martina.
Yeah, then you feel good.
Kids in particular, because
Yeah.
you know, when they get angry
Oh,
or they throw themselves on the floor, you just got to say, do it faster, do it stronger, you know, you're not doing it right. Come on, throw yourself on the floor, do it a bit more intense. Do it for 5 minutes. Come on, 5 minutes. And after two minutes, they're ready. Okay, I'm done. Oh,
I got that out. Get it out. It's
Love
better
this.
out.
That is so true. Oh my God, that makes me laugh. That is so true with kids. If you encourage them, come on, make them more angry. Let me see more. They're so funny. They have that smile.
I use that for myself. I'm being in a sour mood now. Yes. Okay. Do 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It doesn't stick, right? As soon as you give yourself, you allow it, you're like, okay, now I can move on, actually, you know? It's
And
that.
then not feeling guilty for having like felt the way you felt. Like, whoop-de-doo, I was pissed off at someone. Whoop-de-doo, I'm not superhuman here. And it's fun to experience things. So no guilt. At least there was the guilt, and now I'll let it go.
And knowing that the ones who haven't got a body are jealous because they can't be little, you know, angry bitches or bastards because
Yeah,
they don't know how to do it.
they
And
don't
if-
get the experience.
Exactly. And if you add the joy and fun with it, then, you know, that's even better. Because that's when the sovereignty just protects the harvesting as well, right?
And the synergy. And then you can start pairing it up with your profession and your career and the food that you eat and where you're hanging out and what you're doing, and start synergizing all those things together. So it becomes easy, fun, and you expand what your world is to you.
Yeah. But you know
Next
what?
thing you know, you're traveling around the world, going to workshops or just going, it's whatever.
It's a choice.
I love it. I love it. Whatever.
Choice.
Mhm.
Choosing it. And sometimes you have to choose within a minute. You need to choose the same choice about 20 times to get through the minute. Yeah. No, choose. Keep choosing. And everything changes. And sometimes, you know, when the mind really goes wacky on you, then come through the body. Get moving. Get on the trampoline. Get jumping. Slap yourself down. Not because you punish yourself, but get the lymphs going. You know what I mean? Do a couple of exercises. It doesn't have to be yoga or anything funky. You know, just get running on the do the left right brain, you know, overlapping. There's so much stuff. And this is why I started yoga. Purely for that reason, because I thought, okay, let me see. I've done so much work on the, you know, spiritual, mental, blah, 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 deprogramming. Now let's see what the body wants to do, you know, and then bring it together. You know, if you get stuck with something, that use the body for it. And Kundalini is obviously quite intense. I mean, that's what I use, the Kundalini breathing. You know, it's like this morning you hold your hands on top of your head like this and you breathe, just breathing in, hold the breath, breathing out, hold the breath. And you have your hands up there for about 10 minutes, yeah, until you think you're dying and everything is falling off. And I can do this, you know, determination, joyful enthusiasm. And then you take the hands down. And as you do that, the electromagnetic energy that actually gets created through all this pain, yeah, to a certain extent, gets neutralized, right? And then you take the hands down and it's like, oh my God, I feel good, right?
Kind of antagonizing. But my body just told me, go get a fucking gym membership. So I got a gym membership for the first time, and I haven't done that for like over a decade. And like I've been practicing Qigong and yoga for a long time, but the body just wanted that high intensity pressure. Like it just doesn't want this extreme flexibility, softness. Now it's calling for, okay, you've had enough of this. Time to flip spectrums here. Time to really like, you know, I think it's like Bruce Lee sometimes where like, I was like, that fucker. But he called Tai Chi for grandpas. And I was like, oh. But sometimes it's fun to jump in hard. But I like doing both of them now. but it feels good to do this. Just
Well,
doing what your body wants.
I really like what you're
Balance between
saying.
both.
And it's
Okay,
also,
go ahead.
yeah, I don't want to cut you off, Alfredo.
I'm just mostly observing, but you could go ahead.
Right. Because I've seen this now with many people that they're saying they either go to the gym now, they're starting to want to use their bodies more. And why is that? It's because the DNA is activating, the technology is activating, you know? And I think we can actually prove to ourselves that we have so much more capacity through using the bodies more, you know, even if you say, okay, I can't do this weight thing. And then you do it for a week and it's like, oh my God, great. Now I can do it. In the beginning, I couldn't hold it for 2 seconds. And some days I can't, but the other day I can do 15 minutes, like, okay, you know, and it's almost like that communication with the body. Let's do this together, embodied spirituality. As we know, it's not about leaving our bodies. It's about, no, let's have some nice food. Let's have some nice drink. Let's have some nice sex. Let's have all these nice things with ease.
And then for me, it's like a reconnection to my youth, because like for a long this time, I attributed it to violence, which in a way, like that kind of working out is like a very violent characteristic, but that's great. It's just like, I kind of wrote it off for the softer road of things for a long time. And it's a reconnection back to, it really uplifts my confidence. At least like I feel like, because I can feel the blood pumping into parts of my body, which have been void of it because they've only been to that level a very, very long time ago. And now the blood's being brought back up to that level and its circulation into every little nook and cranny. It really gets the sweat out, which I was having a hard time doing that. Even just like running or just anything other, nothing gets my sweat out like this has been doing lately.
Fantastic. And you got to mix it up, right? You've got to mix it up. You know, I think, you know, AB keeps saying that as well. You always say, you know, you don't just do that one meditation for forever and think you're the most, you know, spiritual guru. No, you got to mix it up.
Then you can do more things.
Variety.
Food wise, drink wise, exercise wise, people, you know, it's the same thing. I mean, you wouldn't want to be, you know, talking to us, you know, every day in the week. No, you want to go and speak to normal people as well.
Do you guys ever look at actors, like when you're watching a TV show or a film, and like, besides like the background Hollywood bull crap, you just think like, holy shit, that guy's in his 60s and pretty fucking healthy. And I looked at that and like, I want that. Like, I want, like, they are really nimble to play a lot of those parts for a 60-year-old, like, you know, like grandparent age. And meanwhile, they can jump in and out of a car window or roll on top of a car or like move fastly around. And I looked at that and I was like, I want that. I like, and like, these are the things I have to do to achieve that. There's no other way. There's no magical press the button, make shit happen button. You got to make that happen with your actions. And it's like, I'm pumped, like, because I want to have those options available to me. Just, I want to be super healthy when I'm 60, 70. And, you know, when I'm 500 years old, I want to be healthy and like, it's just a little kid.
Yeah. I like you using the actors, because I mean that's just such a nice way of looking at it, because you know all these different roles. One movie they have to be fat, the next movie they have to be skinny, then they have to be like strong. Well, exactly. Where's that gonna come from? It's not a spiritual, you know, divinity thing. You know, no, it's a fucking choice, because
we don't have to look at them like pedophiles or all this bad business. They do amazing things still. Like, I'm sure their lives aren't very, very simple all the time. Like, all those actors, they got amazing skills. Just amazing skills. And like, to look at that spectrum of the things too, it's like, okay, I'll do that without guilt, like whatever. Like, I'll look at the good of what these guys got.
Yeah. I just watched The Queen of the South, which is one of those cartel movies, you know. Teresa Mendoza. Oh my God, I love her. And, you know, yes, there's obviously the killing and everything. But as you say, Sean, it's like, okay, yeah, you got to do what you got to do, right? And it's like, oh my God, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And
play a part.
About her, it's like, okay, what she created, the risks she took, and it's like, okay, I gotta fly over there, I gotta do this. I'm like, oh my God, woman, I am not living.
I know, it's like that human creation and the opportunity of like
by her, yeah,
helps you dream.
I
Dream.
I want to share an experience. I have this friend, a little lady. She's 92. She's about 4'10" or so, and she's got amazing energy. She's always up and about and moving and doing things and volunteering and all kinds of stuff. And she still drives at her age, but that's not the kicker part. She lives in this senior citizen home now for the past maybe 5 years since her husband passed away. And she just told me the other day, she called me, she said to me, I have this friend in this home here who is 100 years old. She just celebrated her 100th birthday, and she decided to give up her driver's license now. She said she had it with driving. She's 100 years old, and so she don't need to drive anymore. And she's just as active and energetic, apparently, as my friend who is 92. But I thought that was so funny because I started laughing when she said to me, well, she just gave up the driver's license. She said she had enough after 100 years of driving. So I hope that when I'm that age, I'm just as healthy and energetic as these two ladies, you know?
Wait, Sean, I have to say, I'm approaching grandma's age that you said. How old are you?
I'm 30, but
Oh,
it's just
30. Okay.
they're all facts.
You're my son's age. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
watch out. Watch your son.
I'm not a grandma yet, but I want to be. But that's funny.
The reality is like grandmothers aren't 80 years old. Those are great grandmothers sometimes.
Those are great. Yeah.
Fun.
But anyways, that's funny. I love the age thing too. It's like, I don't feel it, but you know, it's all about the perspective of it, right? How you feel.
Who's seen I think it's the latest Jim Carrey movie with the little blue hedgehog character, Speedo or something.
Sonic 2.
Sonic 2.
Yeah, we went to go see it as a family.
I watched it yesterday. Oh, I loved it.
Is it a good movie? Because I see it up there and I said, maybe I should give it a watch, but I haven't tried it yet.
It's just a bit of fun, you know, but it's really
Okay.
nice. I love this little blue hedgehog. He is so busy and he's so active. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, I need a bit of that energy.
That looks fun.
Sonic, yeah, that's right, Alfredo. Did you see it with your kids?
Yeah. We did.
They're probably a little bit like that, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like, it was cool. I like Jim Carrey because he's such a master. To me, he's a master actor. I know he goes there's ups and downs, but he's such an expressive person. It's it's fun to see him like letting loose whatever he's doing, you know?
Yeah.
Very expressive.
Yeah. I like his choice of movie with that one. You know, he's obviously going in this direction. I like it. Yeah.
It would be fun to do like talk about a movie, like watch it and then talk about it. You know, just to see perspectives of or soft disclosures. I think the movie The Batman,
the latest one.
The latest one I've read with like that has some soft disclosures to it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, we can do lots of things. Well, today was about death, but obviously we didn't even go there. Nobody died. It's good.
Nobody died.
Because Petruska, no, it wasn't Petruska, it's Irina. She didn't show, so we're gonna keep it up. Because it's a very good topic, you know. on many, many different levels. But I don't even know. It's like almost 2 hours, and I don't even know what we talked about.
Well, we started out with
This afterwards, what
hostas. We
Say
started out with hostas, and then got the Mandela effect, and maybe
And
we shifted
enjoying our coffee.
timelines.
That's right. Yeah. I must
What'd you
just
say, Marissa?
And also enjoying our coffee, and
Yes.
not preparing ourselves for that.
Gonna go get one
Yeah.
right now.
good. But for me, it's tequila time.
No shit. I'm actively trying to drink more. Like, I think I should have at least 3
Me too.
drinks a week.
Come
Because
and move over here. I'll teach ya.
yeah, yeah.
Please, I'm
It's
not
good for you.
get the wrong.
Clears the blood out. Gets things moving.
Yeah.
I went
No,
like 5 or 6 years without drinking because of candida. I'm just barely getting back into it because I'm so healthy that candida doesn't get triggered when I drink. So I'm like, oh, I could drink. Oh, it's glorious. There's something about like taking a huge break from like drinking and like coming back. It's the bad.
Yeah, and
You know,
like
But yeah.
Chinese medicine perspective. It's like you have memories also in your blood. And like we call them low channels. And it just it heats up the blood and it empties all your small little collaterals. It makes all your emotions come out at one time. It's not quite, but almost like a woman with their menstrual cycles, but a little bit different. But it just clears those little channels out and cycles all the blood.
you don't want that. What are you talking about?
You just get those emotions.
Give us a better example than that.
Hey, it's straight up.
No, I used to work in the oil industry, and drinking was part of what we did, because there was a lot of entertaining and stuff like that, and I had a lot of judgment around that, for many years. And I always thought that I was drinking in order to get out of this reality. And to, like with addictions and stuff like that. And I just, and then I realized at some stage I did a show with AB on this one, and he was just saying, he said the opposite. He said, well, lots of people drink because they get into their body. And I'm like, what? I never thought of that. And it is so true.
Emotions.
I remember that episode.
Remember that? No, because remember that people say, I drink because, I have one drink. We're not talking about, abuse here. So I have a drink in order to be more social. What does that actually mean? You get into your body so that you can have a conversation with people, because how much time do you actually spend outside of your body?
Yeah.
That was one of my biggest realizations. So I used to drink to get into my body. But having said that, of course, if you have a couple too many, then, this goes down the drain as well. And, you're no longer there. But one thing I have to say, if you want to drink something healthy, the healthy drink that I have come since I've been back from Mexico, I have a big pint glass, a Guinness glass, big pint glass, fill it up with ice, a lemon, half a lemon or a full lemon, whatever you want. Tequila, seriously, is one of the cleanest drinks you can have, and then you fill it up with sparkling water. Superb, works totally for me.
These things aren't called spirits for no reason. They're literally like the spirit of the plant.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's like literally you can have memories that you don't want to deal with in your blood that just get packed away in some small little channel. And the little drink takes all those emotions and brings them back into your like main circulation. So you have to experience them or talk about them or do stuff. And obviously this can become addicting if you do it too much.
Yeah.
But to put a little bit here and there, it's like great for cleaning up the plumbing.
I like what you're saying.
It makes a lot of sense, what he's saying is that when you drink, you're actually more in your body, because if you think about it, when you drink, you start to feel a little more free. And if you're a shy person, then you are able to talk to someone else. Or if, say, for example, you go to a club and you take a couple of drinks, you're freer in your body to go dancing. Whereas if you hadn't had that drink, you would not have done that. But it also reminds me of the show The Big Bang Theory, where the character Raj, he couldn't talk to women, but as soon as he takes a drink, he's able to speak to women, because I guess if you look at it from what you're saying, he grounds himself back into his body.
Yep.
So now he's able to talk to the female species, whereas before he had a big, huge problem with that.
I'm
That
the
makes
opposite.
sense.
I'm total opposite. Like, I'm better without liquor in my body. It makes me like dizzy and I want to go to sleep. I can't even handle it.
That's
I don't even
too
know.
much. Drinking too much, then everything comes out at one time and your body becomes overwhelmed, and it's like, I'm just going to shut down. Sympathetic, parasympathetics, like, this is too overwhelming, too fast. I am just going to shut this down because this is too much.
I'm talking like a little. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I even tried smoking. I can't even smoke. I don't even know how to smoke a cigarette.
I like this crowd.
I don't. I've tried. I remember I tried. I'm like, oh, this looks so cool. Let me try.
So I think we've got some teaching to do here. I think we need to get together at some stage.
We have to, because I need to. I need to.
Build.
The real shit, you know.
That's the way I used to feel about this. I used to like, oh, you know what? Coffee, it's just gonna, I'm gonna go out of control. I'll spin out of control with a little cup of coffee. I got over that. It's just, you know what? A small cup of coffee is great.
Yeah. But I like the team building, Alfredo. We
The
need
team
some
building,
team
yes.
building.
That's what I called it at work. It was like, all right, we're gonna have a team build, guys. It's pretty much like a party where all the coworkers just get together and drink and just let loose and just be themselves.
I would need
That's what I thought about. A team
Yeah.
build. We're like, get together and party. That's pretty much what it was.
Strange universe.
A
don't
Zoom
know.
party. We'll all
Yeah,
bring
you
our
get to see
drinks and
everybody's
we'll
like
all-
sides more open. Oh yeah.
It's gonna happen. I think we need to have a team building session at some stage somewhere in a sacred neutral place, right?
Right.
Yeah, good.
Let's
It
do
will
it.
We'll have to make it happen, I suppose. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and get that pure water through the earth everywhere.
Well,
You know,
it's in the
anchor your
sun
water.
now, but I'll get some more during in my dream. I'm gonna go and check out some more because the whole families in the sun took it all.
And
I mean,
Martina, just remember to add some spirits in parts of the water.
It was really potent. It was really potent without that. Yeah.
So we can take a sip every now and then, here and there, in pockets of spirited
Well,
water.
To be honest, I'll tell you what, and this is no joking now, just go to the sun in your next meditation. Go up there. It's all up there. I mean, we're all soul family. They're all up there. They still got it. You should say, hey, we heard that you got this water here. We come and we want some too.
Good idea.
Yeah. I mean, use the tube of protection, go through the blah, blah, do your thing, whatever you do. And just visit your soul family there and see what's going on there. Okay. Look now, I mean, this morning it was absolute chaos with what's going on, but they're all pissed on that water.
We'll do the knock knock joke. Knock knock, who's there? It's me. Me who? Me came for some water, some of that spirited water.
Exactly. You see, it is interesting because I remember Avi saying to me at some stage, one of my lifetimes I had, I was brewing booze in a Caribbean port. So all the sailors came in, I got them all pissed. Just kidding. Okay.
I can see it.
I was running a joint there,
Yeah, imagine the fishnet stockings and leather boots too.
No, not that kind of.
Martina, you know
Why
that
not?
song Brandy? Martina,
Yeah.
you know the song Brandy?
No.
It's about sailors coming in and meeting this woman named Brandy
Who's a fine girl.
coming into the port. Huh?
Mhm.
It must have been me. One of my
Go
soul.
get-
Yeah, I'm thinking it's you.
Yeah. One of my
That
soul.
sounds probably written about you.
Go dance to it, Martina, with your tequila.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Get that lymphatic system going.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
I'll
dance-
have to look up the song. I'll look up the song and I'll post it in our Nouveau.
Yeah.
The song Brandy, so you'll know what I'm talking about.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Good. Well, that
I
was
used to be
fun.
really hooked on whiskey, and it's funny because like I was like, man, I just love my Jameson, I love my whiskey, and then like I go to Andrew later after Kendi and I get my readings, like, yeah, in your past life you were like a bourbon rum runner during like prohibition or whatever, and I was like, whoa, really?
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. No wonder I love whiskey. Getting
Well,
that great. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what I realized, in my quest of, stopping all of that, I had quite a few pissed versions. Yeah, there was one very, very ancient version of myself. That I tried to clear her a couple of years ago. I tried to clear her and I was just, get the hell out of my, la la la. And she said, I'm not going anywhere. I said, I've been around for so long, as she wouldn't go. And then all she wanted was a hug. When you clear some of those versions that have gone awry, not everyone wants to be kicked out or cords cut or stuff like that. It just really needed to be acknowledged for all the work that she has done. As soon as I did that, she dissolved. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
So, when you have anything going on like that, look at, so which version of myself is struggling in whatever timeline, dimension, and galaxy, and then just invite them in and say, come on, line up, and say, okay, so what do you need? What do you require? Some need healing,
Thinking
some
about it, yeah.
need acknowledged, right? Yeah. And then see what happens. Yeah. And then just recently with these energies, like it started a week ago, there was something similar showing back up again. I said, whoa, what are you doing here? Such an interesting reminder that if you heal something, if you clear it, if you let it go, if you destroy it, you uncreate it, it's still there, right?
It's more likely going to come and just show you, hey, I am here. How are you going to react? Hey.
Energy can't be destroyed, right? It cannot be destroyed. Even if you heal it, it is still there. Then this is where we have to then come back to our, focus. Okay, do I focus on this? I say, thank you very much. I'm going to be here now and not focus it, This is the thing. People think, oh, just because you feel that now, it's no longer there. No, you can tap right into it.
You just look like your Caribbean rum runner, like with your,
Yeah.
hey, they're coming.
Where are they? Come on, guys. Ready.
Oh, store it. Put it under the floorboards.
Hey? Oh, those bloody past lives. They're just creeping
I'm glad
up,
you're here,
right?
Shauna.
Material they are.
You can't hide anymore for what we've been and done. So we just got to love ourselves for being all that. Fabulous. I love you guys.
The apex
I love
of
you.
the
Thank
I
you.
am.
Love you guys too.
Lana, sorry, what did you say?
The apex of the I am. We're all here now.
No judgment,
Past, present, future.
just a bit of fun.
Making fun of ourselves.
Exactly.
It's gonna be a crack up when we get together. I can just see it. I just felt it. I just felt it. I don't know.
You know what? It's so weird when you
Potential.
see each other on this, and all of a sudden you see the person in real life. It's really weird. I met my partner like that. I never saw him. I had no idea what he looked like, but his voice, I fell in love with the voice, right? And then when I picked him up from the airport to see him for the first time after a couple of months, I almost died. I'm like, oh my God.
It's getting real.
And that is not ugly or anything, but it was just so different.
Yeah, all your other senses, like you're smelling and you feel like you just feel everything now. It's like, oh, this is more than that.
Mm.
Two-dimensional wall.
I brought him home and I said, can you please go into the other room and talk to me?
Really? Really?
Seriously, yeah. Oh, he's a cool dude, but okay.
That's awesome.
But, he's South African. So he walks in, guys, and, he's supposed to be the love of my life, right? He walks in. The first thing he says, you got a TV? So why? Why? He says, well, can I watch rugby here? Do they show?
Oh, of course.
Nice.
And I thought, you know what? You got potential. We can talk.
You know what? Nothing makes you feel better than someone who feels at home in your home. It just makes you feel good. So maybe I can feel at home in my home too.
Yeah.
Let's all feel at home here.
This is why we survived 24 years, because of that kind of, hey, this is me, this is what I need, and how can I contribute to you? Right?
Mhm.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. No trying to be a stiff with other people's hobbies and shit. It's like, you know what? Someone likes their TV and they like watching good old gladiatorial sports.
Yeah.
Cool. Maybe they got past lives in the the stadium right now. Maybe they're fighting for their lives with like a morning star against a giant adversary. Who knows?
Well, 24 years later, I still don't know how to count in rugby. So I have no idea what the rules are. And he obviously doesn't want to have anything to do with the shit that we talk about here. So it's interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So much to having things in common, right?
Incommonly in common.
Absolutely. Okay, my darlings. Anything to close? So good to see you, Sean, again, and everyone else coming on and your contributions. We did 2 hours.
Fun to stop in. I want to close with 3 shows. Uploaded, can't remember. Raised by Wolves.
Hold on. Upload. Oh, this is like where they make them little.
No, it's like when you die, they can upload your ness into a computer.
I might have seen that. Yeah.
So like there's different hierarchies for like rich people have really fancy ones they get uploaded into, and poor people might not even have one.
So which channel do you watch that on?
Oh, I stream everything.
Yeah, but is it on Netflix or Amazon or what?
I think uploads on Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Raised by Wolves is also by Prime.
Yeah, that's my.
And I'm not sure, the other one that I'm recommending is Severance. So and I stream it like with another program called Popcorn Time. But it's all about these work employees who they get a chip in their brain. So when they go to work, their brain gets severanced off. So they have no recollection of what happens at work. And then they come back. Like it's all of a sudden they just up the elevator and down the elevator. But like
I tried, Sean.
Yeah.
I tried to watch it. It was like, I'm gonna go back to that's on Apple.
Oh, that one's
That's
on Apple.
Yeah. But that was I got kind of bored with it, but I'll try it.
Yeah, if it's boring. But those 3, they all got so much creative power.
Right. Okay. Who else got some? I got Human on Netflix. I mentioned that last time. I think it's still on. Human.
Just watched Utopia. You could look it up on YouTube. The whole thing is streaming, but it's like this show called Utopia 2013. It's like some guy described it to me. It's like the mix of like Breaking Bad and like coronavirus scenario mixed together. It's insane, and the music is super trippy and cool. That was like I'm surprised I never even heard or saw that thing. I saw that, and I saw Blue Period or Blue Paint. It's like anime from Netflix. It was nice to see like the artist's perspective on things, and like this guy that's like used to living like a lifestyle of just like, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to work hard to get somewhere in life, and like he just transitions into art and just like finds himself. And that was a nice little watch. It's pretty short too, so
cool. Anyone
Cool.
else? Any recommendations? Well,
Yeah, I can't think of, I'll come back with
It's of
some.
the South, but it's
Point Amy,
5 seasons.
Severance. I realized I had a big block against that guy, the main actor, because of his usual typecast. Like usually he's just an annoying office guy, and he's kind of an annoying office guy. And then like, it took about 3 episodes, so I'm like, ooh, I kind of.
Okay. I usually try 3 episodes before I like
Yeah.
decide, but yeah.
Because I was like, is this an annoying office comedy kind of
yeah.
feeling?
I like this show. I've been watching Mythic Quest. That's on Apple. It's kind of a cute comedy show. It makes me laugh anyways, but it's lighthearted. It's like a lighthearted show, but it's funny.
I like
It's cute.
comedy, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I think it makes me giggle.
I like comedy. And then
Yeah.
also,
It's kind of like Parks and Recreation. It's kind of like that kind of show.
yeah, Monty was going on about it too, if you haven't watched Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
It was a lot of fun.
I love it.
It's
Love it.
playful. It makes you feel, made me grow a mustache. That's how much fun it was.
Mm.
Love it. I gotta go though. So
Okay. No, we're going to close it down. So thanks very much, guys. And
everyone.
see you next week, hey? If you've got
Thank
time
you.
to come in, yeah?
Later.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.